Burn. On the other side of the cloud, our last crossing brings us back to Earth. It is vertical. It tastes like a descent into hell. Yet, it is on the surface that the darkest realities of our time inflame the north wing. This is the final chapter of the journey, and the question arises: will the wake determine the direction? In the furnace, the artists respond to destruction without denying it, without diminishing it, by our own creation. Burn. The video work Jam Proximus Ardet by Adel Abdesemed questions our passivity in the face of tragedies, to the horrors which do not outrage us, to the crimes which do not shame us. By depicting himself on a boat that is approaching and catching fire, he is forcing us to relieve the discomfort we feel buried deep within us every day. When migrants perish at sea, when children die under bombs, when we look horror straight in the eye, can we cause an awakening? Mohamed Job, with his project Opéra EDM, transports us into a post-apocalyptic future where Africa, uncolonized, has become a superpower. But even in this alternate world, nuclear catastrophe could not be avoided, and the few survivors of Akibulan must now navigate a toxic universe. Its half-human, half-machine characters, lost in a desert of pastel shades, embody both human resilience and the dystopian reality of a devastated world. Proclaiming our ability to find beauty and hope, even in the heart of destruction, the artist offers us a futuristic vision imbued with tenderness and vitality, where music and love are an act of resistance to dehumanization. His universe, influenced by science fiction, comics, and manga, contrasts with the cliché of artistic creation on the African continent. Claiming to belong to a generation connected to contemporary cultures, he questions the role of technology and our imagination of the future, placing humanity at the center. Faced with the inexorable advance of destruction, artists, through drastically varied aesthetic, mediums, and universe, confront us with our reality. Creating meaning, facing the wake, the past and the common future emerges, moving in the ashes and violence of this last chapter, where imagination still flourishes. Questions: are we destined to continue this disastrous trajectory? Will we put out the fire? Is this the end of the journey? The glow fades. In front of us, below, unfolds the universe of Sidney Regis, who invites us to reflect on our deep connection with the sea and the natural elements. In his series Repairing the Sea, the artist, both a diver and a photographer, uses old maps to question our perception of resources once considered infinite. By the repeated and almost illegible inscription of his mantra, Repair the Sea, Sidney Regis suggests that the fragility of our ecosystem and the need to become aware of our responsibility towards nature. This work as an urgent call to action, to reparation. A reminder that our survival is inseparably linked to that of the sea that we have so exhausted. By concluding the exhibition with this reflection, Sidney Regis opens a path towards reconciliation with our environment and reminds us above all that it is not too late to return to the wake, to accept and repair. Come back, change trajectory, transform. Finally, the waterfall staircase brings us to a full circle to the starting point, water. Perhaps some of us will be no longer quite who we were when we threw ourselves into the mouth of the chrysalis monster. Perhaps the motion will create new trails.